Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, can you believe it? But I have a financial warning that you need to listen to. Also, who was it that you and Omar needed to impress? Spending money that you did not have. Who?
The only thing that I can come up with was that we just felt in some kind of crazy way
entitled. And you asked me, can I afford it?
I want to put an artificial lawn in my house.
An artificial lawn? Why would you want? They look cheap. Hi everybody, I'm Suze Orman and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Can you believe it? Can you even begin to believe it? That in just a few days, we are at Thanksgiving again. So let's talk about Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for, all of us, especially if we're able to even celebrate Thanksgiving. And it is true, when Thanksgiving comes, I make this mistake, you all make this mistake, but we usually undo all the great work that we did all year to lose weight, to be healthy, and in one meal, we seem to somehow consume 10, 15,000 calories, and there we go. We have to start all over again. Now, I get that. I understand that. It is very hard to resist the mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the stuffing, the pumpkin pie, the skin on the turkey. I love the skin on the turkey. In fact, when I carve it, I eat all the skin that's on the turkey. So I get that it's hard to resist that because it's right in front of you. Everybody is partaking, and you just don't want to sit there and go, sorry, I'm on a diet, so you go for it. But what happens after Thanksgiving? Now let's talk about money. Usually the Friday after Thanksgiving is known as Black Friday, where all the sales start and all of you go out and you spend, 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 spend. Now, it's one thing to undo all the calories that you lost and pounds that you lost throughout the year. It's another thing to blow the fact that you're possibly out of credit card debt, you're saving money, everything's going just like it should, and now it's Black Friday. So for Black Friday, I am asking all of you, can you just not go shopping? If you have credit card debt, you've been saving money, you're barely making it, can you just stay home and eat leftovers? So that you aren't tempted by going out and spending money because all of the sales seem like they're so good? Can you just do that? Make this the year where you are making every penny count. You're not going to spend money you don't have. You're going to give yourself the gift of saving for your future. You're going to have a plate of money to serve yourself. Can you do that for me? If you can, it'll make my Thanksgiving really, really great. Becky in Pennsylvania, come to me, baby. Tell me your question.
My question is, when my husband and I were newly married, he had consolidated our student loans. At the time,
Wait. He consolidated your student loans with his or his with yours. How'd that happen? The two of your student loans are consolidated together.
They are.
Go on.
And at the time, I thought it was a good idea, and I trusted him. But now we're going through a divorce.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say that.
And I realized that after, going over all the student loan stuff, that the loans are solely in my name. The divorce lawyers are making him financially responsible for repayment since most of the loans were his. But moving forward, how will this affect my ability to move on with my financial life, like buying a home or getting student loans for my kids when it's their turn?
Well,
to go
here
to school?
it depends. Is he responsible? How is that why you got divorced? Because here's the bottom line, Becky. It does not matter that the lawyers or the court system is making him responsible for paying your student loans. Because if he doesn't pay his student loans, whose name are they in?
They're in mine.
Whose credit report is it going to affect?
Mine.
And whose credit score, therefore, is it going to ruin?
Mine.
There you go. So how much money are we talking about?
It's about $80,000.
How much of those, I just have to ask, how much of those student loans were yours in just your name?
Well, after all the interest and fees and things like that, mine is $28,000.
But you have $80,000 in just your name, when
Correct.
the truth is you should have had just $28,000 in your name.
Yes.
Does he pay the student loan company directly, or has he been instructed to pay you and you pay it?
He's been instructed to pay me and I pay it.
All right. Has he been on time?
It actually was in deferment while it was all being figured out,
Yes.
so it kicks in soon. It hasn't started
All right.
back up yet.
So you need to know, and keep this in mind, this is really your sole responsibility in terms of the reporting mechanism of it. If he does not pay you, you need to keep track of it, but you need to find somewhere the $700 a month. Is that what it comes to?
It's about that, yeah.
So the $700 a month that is owed on these student loans, if he does not pay you, you have to have the money somewhere to pay it. And you are just going to have to say, this is part of the mistake that I made. You then will keep track of it. And in the end, you will go back and you will sue his little butt for the amount of money that he should have paid you. You could even go and garnish his wages if you win, because eventually he's got to get more responsible. He's got to support himself, and hopefully he'll rise to the occasion. Other than that, the lesson learned here is don't you ever, well, in fact, you can't do it anymore, but if you could, never, ever consolidate student loans. Sorry, girlfriend. Michelle in California. Can't wait to hear this one.
Hi, girlfriend. How you doing?
I'm fabulous. Thank you, sweetheart. Ask me your question.
Well, I've been dating my fiancé for over 3 years, and we're getting married in 5 months. Before we met, he purchased a home in Chicago, but sadly now it's underwater about $100,000. But he still owes about $200,000 on his loan. He works in a private equity company, and so his credit is a factor for his employment. I want to give the property back since we'll never recoup this money, and I suggested that he gave me the title, and then I will foreclose on my credit since I make so much less than him. He's against it, but I don't have any other solutions, and I want to do what's best for our new life together. What do you suggest?
I do not think that you should be ruining your credit just to save this property here. I suggest him going to try to refinance it using HARP 2.0. You can go to consumerfinance.gov and find all the information you need to know there. I would first look and see, could I refinance it? If I refinanced it, would I then be able to rent it out to at least cover my costs? Do you think that would be?
Well, he does right now. His monthly mortgage is $1,600, and he rents it out for $1,800.
So I would just keep it until real estate bounced back. But I would make sure that he has the lowest possible interest rate on it to make sure that he's making the most he possibly can. All right, let's go to Nevada. Elizabeth, you are on the Suze Orman Show.
So much for taking my call.
Anytime. Go for it.
So my husband and I recently got married, and I came into the marriage with my only debt being a car loan and a mortgage, and I had a fair amount of retirement and some savings and investments. However, my husband has about $147,000 in school loans. So since we're now trying to plan as one financial unit, we wonder if it makes sense to sell some of my stocks and mutual funds, part of which, of course, I've always considered my security fund, to pay down some of his student loans.
How would that make you feel and how much money are we talking about, first of all?
So we're thinking of cashing out about $15K.
All right, so $15,000
out of about $29,000 that I have.
So you're talking about cashing out 50% of your money to pay down his student loans. Do you want to do that?
If it puts us in a better financial place in the future. Based on our rough calculations, we're thinking that it would knock off about 2 years on our repayment plan.
But do you want to do that?
I'm a little anxious, but I do want to.
Do you? Wait, you listen to me. You listen to me, and you listen to me good right now. You are having a hard time saying, no, I don't want to do it.
Right.
Do you not hear me say on the Suze Orman Show, at the end of every show, I go, people first, then money, then things. I do not care that it will knock off 2 years of payments. I do not care that it helps him and both of you financially speaking. I only care about emotionally speaking. Is this something that you want to do, or would it make you a little bit fearful, a little bit anxious, a little bit like, oh, I wish I didn't have to do that?
It would make me a little anxious.
Then you are not to do it. The number one law of money is power attracts money, powerlessness repels it. You are never, ever, ever to do anything in your life that makes you feel powerless. And when you're anxious, it makes you feel powerless, because in the long run, you'll end up losing that money somewhere else. Don't do it, girlfriend. It's just that simple. People, can you just call into the Suze Orman Show and can you just be honest like I am? Just learn how to tell it like it is. If you're afraid, say you're afraid. If you're upset, say you're upset. Just, can you get in touch with your emotions? All right, fine, no problem. Who am I talking to? Nobody. Myself. Okay. Everybody thought that Robin and Omar living in this beautiful home, everybody else thought you were doing great. What were you thinking? And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it?
I would like to rent a Ferrari for a day. It's my favorite car. I've always dreamed of owning one. And if I could rent it for one day on my birthday, it would be a lot of fun.
Boyfriend, show me the money.
Okay, I take home $400 a month.
Welcome back, everybody. So here is the question I want to ask you. Is it possible to bounce back from hitting financial rock bottom? My one-on-one tonight is Robin. Robin is 39. She lives in Pennsylvania with her husband, Omar. They have 4 children. 4. Got it? 4. There they are. Right? Robin is an administrative assistant for a church. Omar's on workman's comp after an accident on the job. Robin says that when they lost their home, it sent them into a huge downward spiral. To tell you, after looking at their finances, you can say that again. Anyway, Robin, welcome, number one, to the Suze Orman Show. Let's start at the beginning.
Yes.
What the heck happened to you?
Okay. So my husband and I decided to buy a home, and this was in 2006. At the same time, my mother was looking for a place to live as well. We decided to get together and to have me buy a home. The home was in my name, and for us all to live together. Her portion was to pay for half of the mortgage. Omar and I weren't able to afford the home without my mother's income. So I know from the very start that probably it was a bad idea. Even my brother told me that, you know what, don't do this with Mom. But I wanted to trust that she would own up to her half of the responsibility. When it came time to pay the first month's mortgage, she told me that she wasn't able to do so anymore. She wasn't able to uphold.
Anymore? She wasn't able to do it ever. All right, fine. So she's never paid for this home.
Right.
All right, and then we fast forward a little bit. You can't make the payments.
Right.
How long did you live in that house without making any payments whatsoever?
Susie, this was the biggest mistake that we made. We were in the house from 2006 until 2011, and I know it is our fault that we didn't put a penny away to save.
All right, let's stop and make sure that the at-home audience hears exactly what you just said. You lived rent-free in this home, and if you simply had taken the $1,000 a month that you should have been paying towards the mortgage your half, you would have had $60,000 saved, right?
Absolutely.
During that time that you didn't save a penny, because right now, as I'm looking at your paperwork,
Okay.
you have a few $100s in an emergency fund, nothing in retirement, nothing in investments, $17,000 of credit card debt, lots of student loan debt, vehicle debt. So you owe $98,000 in debt. So during the 5 years that you lived there, did you go out to eat?
We went out to eat.
You went on vacation. You bought clothes.
Yes.
You went to movies.
Yes.
You bought things for people.
Yes.
You were generous. Everybody thought that Robin and Omar living in this beautiful home, everybody else thought you were doing great.
Yes.
And you were supporting everybody. So here's the real question. While you were doing this, what were you thinking?
Susie, when our home went into foreclosure, my biggest fear is never having enough money. And I decided at that time that in 2007, the beginning of 2007, I needed to go back to school. I honestly thought that things were going to be okay once I graduated from college and I finished up my degree, that I would eventually be able to find a job that would be able to catch us up and we would be able to take over the mortgage again.
You said your greatest fear was not having money.
Yes.
But even though that was your greatest fear, you continued to spend money on things that didn't even matter. Who was it that you and Omar needed to impress, spending money that you did not have? Who?
That's a really good question. And the only thing that I can come up with was that we just felt, in some kind of crazy way,
Entitled. You felt entitled to spend money you did not have. You did, or you wouldn't have spent it. So the main thing that you have to understand here is that you literally robbed the piggy bank that wasn't even your piggy bank. So to make up for that now, we have to start doing a financial triage plan. Because not only do you have to make sure that you could provide a future for your children, for Omar, possibly even your mother right now, you're going to have to do this for yourself, girlfriend. Do I see tears there? Are you crying on the Suze Orman Show?
I'm sorry.
No, don't ever apologize for tears, but tell me why you're crying. What are you thinking that's making you cry?
I know we made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And honestly, a lot of it was just ignorance. And as crazy as that sounds, we honestly bought a home that we shouldn't have bought. It was too big. The mortgage was too heavy for us. And we were just trying to make things right.
So, Robin, here's the thing. You knew you couldn't afford it. You knew you were spending money you didn't have. You were spending money on people you didn't even really know or like. You wanted this illusion. You were living in this illusion. Today on the Suze Orman Show, you have now got to stand in the truth from this day forward. And if you can do that, we can turn your entire financial situation around. So please listen closely to what I think you need to do with Omar. Okay. Number one, you currently have 3 cars, 2 that you own outright, 1 that you're paying $257 a month for that you really cannot afford, that has 225,000 miles on it. You also really do owe $17,000 on credit cards and medical debt and all of these things, and you do not have 1 penny to your name. So the first thing I want you to do is face up to what you did and clear the slate. So I do want you to claim bankruptcy. Now, I do not say that lightly. I do not tell everybody in the world to claim bankruptcy, but I need you to have a clean start. Next, there's all kinds of things that you do not need to do. And it comes to about $1,000 per month. I want you to cut $100 a month from your cell phone. You're going to cut the $257 a month car payment after bankruptcy. You spend $164 a month eating out. You spend $150 a month on day camp for your kids. You spend $158 a month on clothes, $200 on gifts, and there's other money to be cut as well. But if you just cut that, that is $1,000 per month now that we have. You are in default and deferment of your student loans. It is the most dangerous thing that you can be doing because those loans are growing and growing and growing and will never be able to, in your case anyway, be discharged in bankruptcy that you are about to claim. So I need you to get your loans up to date. I want you to take that $1,000 a month that we just found for you, and I want you to start paying your student loans down. And you are going to continue to do that for as long as you possibly can until Omar comes out of rehabilitation and he is able to get a job again. All the extra money that you are going to have that he will be bringing in, you are not going to go back to your old lifestyle. Do you vow in front of everybody that you are going to do exactly what I told you to do?
I will do exactly what you told me to do.
And Omar will do it too.
Yes, he
You're
will.
his surrogate. If you can do that, Robin, in the 5 years that you just blew, your whole life can be turned around.
Hi, Susie. Thank you for the opportunity to have me on your show. However, I'm still healing from the battle scars as a result of it. I shared the information you suggested with Omar, and he too was stunned by the realization that we could have saved $60,000 over the last 5 years while our house was in foreclosure. Based on your recommendations, we have already shaved $100 per month off of our cell phone bill. It's a small step in the right direction, but we're just getting started. Thanks so much, Susie.
Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
I want to put an artificial lawn in my house.
An artificial lawn?
My 2 cars.
Oh,
My
two-
wife and I each have leases.
That's great. Go on. Also,
What I want to buy is a 14-day cruise in the Adriatic Ocean and to the Greek islands with my daughter.
and how are you going to pay for this?
Well, how we're going to pay for this is
All right, wait, let's just stop for a second. What do you want to buy?
Rent a Ferrari for a day.
14-day cruise.
Breitling Hold 2 automatic watch.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Can I Afford It segment. This is where you call in, you tell me what it is you want to buy, and I tell you if you can afford it or not. It's right before Thanksgiving. You think I'm going to be generous? Nice? Let's see. All right, David, what do you want to buy?
Hi, I would like to rent a Ferrari for a day. It's my favorite car. I've always dreamed of owning one. And if I could rent it for one day on my birthday, it would be a lot of fun.
David, have you ever ridden in a Ferrari?
No, I've not. I've only seen one.
So you haven't even sat in one. Number one, they're not the most comfortable cars. You haven't even been in one. Don't you even go into like the showroom and just sit in it? Can't you just get your thrill that way?
No, I really want to drive one.
You want to drive one. All right, David, $800 so you can drive a Ferrari and other people can see you in it. Okay, boyfriend, show me the money.
Okay, I take home $400 a month. My current monthly expenses are $280. I have no debt, and I have $33,000 in liquid savings.
How did you get $33,000 in liquid savings?
Well, I'm a huge saver, so that's a combination of the past 18 years of birthday money, Christmas money, holiday money, and the past 2 years working.
And so you, David, as a smart man at 18 years of age, know how money can grow over time. Do you know that that $800 in 50 years from now, when you would be retired, if you invested it, do you know that it would be worth about $148,000? Did you know that?
I did not.
Do you want to waste $148,000 on one day? Because that's how you need to look at money, my dear David. Not, oh, I have $33,000 so I can easily spend it, but what if I had taken this money and invested it and made 11% a year for the next 50 some odd years? My God, David, it's $148,000. Are you sure you still want to do this?
I do, because I would pay half money from the money I receive on my birthday from various family members and take half out of savings.
Oh, so the other $400, you'd still have $74,000. But here's the scoop. Can you afford it? You have been approved. I am so sorry to say, because you have the money. David, don't do it. All right, John, what do you want to buy?
Hey, Susie, thanks for taking my call. I want to put an artificial lawn in my house.
An artificial lawn? Why would you want? They look cheap.
I know, but between the summer grass and the winter grass and the fertilizer, the resale, this is a perfect idea.
Where do you live?
I live in sunny Arizona.
Oh, so the grass burns, it takes a lot of water, it costs you a lot of money to keep your grass, doesn't it?
Every day you got to be spending money on this stuff. And what's nice is about this artificial, they take out the irrigation system. This thing is complete and done for that price.
Forever, for the rest of your life, for $5,800, you too can be the proud owner of artificial grass. Show me the money.
All right, Susie. Well, we have a combined take-home income of $10,550.
Yeah.
Our expenses total $7,809, and that includes $938 for the leases on my two cars.
You lease your cars? You lease?
No, my two cars. My wife and I each have leases.
That's great. Go on.
Our debt, we have $328,000 on our 30-year fixed home loan at 4.5%.
Yep.
For savings, we have $96,000 liquid, $231,000 in investments, and $197,000 in our retirement.
Approved. And now you have a $5,800 artificial lawn. Can you do me a favor? Stop leasing those cars, and can you either buy them outright or finance them? Are you kidding me? Anyway, Sherry, what do you want to buy?
Oh, Susie, what I want to buy is a 14-day cruise in the Adriatic Ocean and to the Greek islands with my daughter, who's 17. She's graduating from high school, and this will be her graduation gift.
Oh, so mommy and daughter get to go away for $3,700 together, right?
Yes, probably the last time we'll do that, and who knows when.
Oh, please, are you kidding me? You know that isn't true. Once a daughter and a mommy, always a daughter and a mommy until mommy isn't there anymore. Anyway, I won't go into that. So Sherry, show me the money.
Okay, well, the money is, I have $5,446 a month in income, and that includes take-home rental income and child support.
Yes, good.
I have expenses of $6,593, and that includes a mortgage.
Yeah.
And monthly rent.
Yes.
And my debt, I have a $253,000 adjustable mortgage, $27,000 30-year fixed mortgage, $38,000 in credit card debt, $4,000 in my 457B loan. For savings, I have $8,000 in my liquid accounts. I have $21,000 in investments and $65,000 in my retirement fund.
And you're 54 years of age.
Yes, I am.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, how we're going to pay for this is presently I contribute $1,700 a month to my 457. I'm going to drop that payment to $400 a month, and I am going to take my...
Wait, let's just stop for a second. First of all, are you kidding me? You are so denied it's not even funny. Secondly, you may think that taking your daughter on a cruise is a great thing to do, but when she gets older and she sees that her mother does not have the money to retire, that she's going to have to fork out money of her own to help her mother pay for her own bills and all of these things, she's going to wonder, Mom, why were we so irresponsible and did we go on this cruise? If you really want to give your daughter a graduation gift, give her the gift of honesty, standing in the truth. Go and spend a weekend with her at your house because you can't afford to do anything else. Are you kidding me? Svetlana, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. My husband and I were very big fans of your show. This is very exciting.
Oh, thank you. What do you want to buy?
Well, he's turning 30 this year, and I would love to surprise him with a Breitling Cold 2 automatic watch for his birthday. Yeah.
Yes, you know, it's funny because I wear watches and it was too big to whatever, so I took my watch off today so it wouldn't bang on the thing. I love Breitlings, love them. All right, and I'm not paid by Breitling, by the way, to say that, people. Okay, so $22 to $100 for a Breitling watch. Show me the money.
Okay, we have about $12,000 in combined income.
Yeah.
We have $8,800 in expenses with $1,500 going to savings.
Great.
We have a mortgage of $416,000 and a 30-year mortgage at 3.99%.
Yes.
I have $50,000 left in student loans at variable percentage between 2 to 6. We have $57,000 in liquid and $80,000 in retirement.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, actually, we're thinking of taking it on a credit card that has 0% interest for 15 months.
And then just pay it off in full, correct?
Exactly.
Girlfriend, you're 28 years of age. Look at how much money you already have. Seems to me you are watching, that's a pun, got it, watching your money. So you have been approved. I think that's pretty good. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to SuzeOrman.com and you will find the information you need to know there to come and play with me right here. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze.
My work reimbursed me $2,200. So instead of paying that back towards the loan, I put the $2,200 in an aggressive mutual fund.
Really? What really, you did that? Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. Hi, everybody. Here we are in the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways that you can reach me. Take a look at your screen right now. You can either join me on Facebook, on Twitter, send an email in, or if you simply put hashtag Ask Suze when you send in a tweet, it comes right in here. And if we pick it, you will be on the air with us. Let's take a look at what's trending right now. All right, now it's either Lena or Lena, 0410. She asks, or he asks, or who knows who it is. Anyway, refinance our 30-year mortgage to a 20-year and have the same monthly payment, but we would have to dip into our emergency fund to do it. Well, here's the problem. I don't know the interest rate that you're talking about. If you're currently at a low interest rate, all you have to do, rather than spending all the money to refinance, is just pay more every single month on your monthly payment, and you yourself can convert a 30-year into a 20-year or a 15-year or whatever it may be. If, however, you're at a really high interest rate, you're at maybe 5% or 6%, and you can refinance down to 3.5%, okay, but how much do you have to dip into your emergency fund to do so? So the real point of the matter is this. I would not be dipping into my emergency fund if it put me under 8 months to refinance. I would wait until I had enough money, but only if I was going from a high interest rate to a lot lower interest rate. Got that, girlfriend? And by the way, I was staying in the house long enough to recapture the refinance costs with the savings that I would have. All right, let's see what else we have. The Westkirk. All right. I'm currently contributing to a 401k. I'm 23 years old and have 95% of my funding in stocks. Too risky? Just right? Well, I have to tell you, not risky enough. At 23 years of age, I personally would have 100% of my money in the stock market. Now, I doubt very highly that you have it in individual stocks, because within a 401k, most times you have to have mutual funds. So you have diversification here. So the real question is, do you have the right mutual funds? Do you have the right mix? It's not just that you're in the stock market. Are you in the right areas of the stock market? But for me, for you, 100%, go for it. Let's go to our webcam right now. We have Gwen coming to us from Ohio. Girlfriend, what's your question?
Hi, Susie. I just started back to grad school, and my work will reimburse me some of the tuition. So for my first semester, I took out $6,000 in federal student loans, which was at a 6.8%, and my work reimbursed me $2,200. So instead of paying that back towards the loan, I put the $2,200 in an aggressive mutual fund with a 3-year history of 11%. Was that a good move?
Really? What, really, you did that? Are you kidding me, girlfriend? Listen to me. 6.8% is a very high interest rate today. 6.8% on a student loan that can, in most cases, never be discharged in bankruptcy. At any time, anything can happen in the stock market. Just because it had a 3-year good past history of 11%, are you kidding? What if this was the year 2000 and you had done that? And then all of a sudden we had 2001, 2002, or it was 2007 and you had done that, and the previous 3 years were absolutely fabulous, and then look what happened. No, no, no. What you should have done is taken the $2,200 that you were reimbursed and paid back your student loan so that only you owed $4,600, whatever it may be. Are you kidding me? I would not have done that. Don't you ever do it again. And I just think that was plain stupid. Sorry, Gwen. All right, everybody, we're going to go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Melissa wants to know, Susie.
How am I doing? I hate to spend money, and I'm afraid to take risks, so I have been very cautious when it comes to investing.
Can you just stop being so afraid? Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show.
Hi, Susie. I'm 30 years old, single with no kids. I'm debt-free except for my mortgage. I hate to spend money, and I'm afraid to take risks, so I have been very cautious when it comes to investing. I don't have much of a nest egg, and that worries me. My goal is to retire at 65 and hope that I'm on the right track. Susie, how am I doing?
Melissa, welcome to the Suze Orman Show. Girlfriend, I have a question to ask you. Why are you so afraid when it comes to money?
I'm just afraid that I'm going to lose all the money that I've spent my whole life saving.
Your whole life of 30 long years. And does this fear keep you up at night?
No, not usually.
Not usually, but every once in a while it creeps in and it stops you from doing anything with your money other than keeping it safe and sound, right?
Correct.
All right. You want to retire 35 years from now.
Yes.
If you are going to give yourself a grade, if you think doing exactly what you're doing right now, if you could meet that goal, what grade would you give yourself?
It'd be between a B and a C.
A B and a C. So you would be giving yourself probably a B minus, correct?
Yes.
Let's show everybody the money that you do have. So Melissa, as she told you, is 30 years of age. She's single. She has about $10,432 in retirement, $28,713 in an emergency fund, $200 in investments. Her current home value is $253,000, no credit card debt or consumer debt whatsoever, $197,000 in mortgage debt. She has total assets of $292,344 and $197,000 in debt for a net worth of $95,344. Melissa, I am sure this is maybe one of the first times you saw everything in one place. Does that surprise you? Did you think you were worth more? Did you think you were worth less? What do you think?
No, actually, I watched your show, so I've done that before.
I love that. So now let's show everybody your income and your expenses. And here's where we start to get serious about things. Melissa has a monthly income of $3,076, monthly expenses of $2,156, and she does put $1,000 a month away every single month in her savings. So really she's running a deficit of about $81 a month, but not really, because when she doesn't have the money, I'm sure it just doesn't go into savings. So you said you'd give yourself a B minus. I gave you currently a C plus.
Okay.
All right, not so bad, because here's the good news. At 30, we have 35 years to have a plan that you put in action today to come into reality so that you can really retire at 65. So are you ready? Take out pencil, take out paper, and here, my dear Melissa, is your way to an A. First, and probably the most important thing that you can do, can you just stop being so afraid? When you are afraid, you paralyze yourself and you don't do anything. Now, how do you stop being afraid? The only way I know to conquer fear is through action. So as soon as you start getting involved with your money, investing your money, doing the right thing with your money, you're going to find that you're not afraid anymore. Next, You need, however, to protect yourself against things you should be afraid about. So you have got to get yourself, especially because you're a single woman, a living revocable trust with an incapacity clause in it. At the end of this call right now, our producers will tell you exactly how to do that, and we will set you up with that. Next, you have a home. Now, I understand very well that you have some equity in this home, but you're also paying a pretty high interest rate given what's currently out there. And you're going to be paying it for quite a number of years. I want you to try to refinance, get a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. What will happen is it's only going to cost you $50 more a month to do so. You'll be paying more and more of it off that much faster. Currently, you're putting $1,000 a month in your emergency account. I want you to stop that. I want you to put only about $580 or whatever it may be a month in your emergency account, and take the other $416 and open up a Roth IRA, dollar cost average into it every single month. And you're going to learn how to buy high-yielding, dividend-paying stocks and or exchange-traded funds. If you do everything that I just told you to do, at the age of 65, you'll own your home outright. Everything will be as it should. Your Social Security check, given your current expenses, if they stay right around here, will pay for everything. All the money in your retirement accounts, you're going to have between $1.2 and $1.7 million. So you're going to be just fine. But you have to do what I just told you. So follow my way to your A. Up next, one more thing that I want you to know. I'm really grateful and thankful to each and every one of you that watches the Suze Orman Show. Welcome back to the Suze Orman Show. All right, everybody, that's almost a wrap on the Suze Orman Show. But before we go, there is still one more thing I want you to know. So this coming Thursday is Thanksgiving. So here's what I want to say to all of you. I want you to know that I'm really grateful and thankful to each and every one of you that watches the Suze Orman Show. You know, we're going on our 12th year here. 12 years of a cable show really is unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. So from my heart to all of yours, I just want to tell you I'm really grateful for every single one of you. I also want to tell you that next week, we're going to have our annual holiday gift, Can I Afford It special. It is always a lot of fun. Now you know. But until then, there's really only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it's this. People first, then money, then things. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Now you stay safe.